Not many people can say one of their early jobs was working in the White House for the President of the United States. State Senator Brandt Hershman can. Hershman wrote personal communications for the first President, George Bush. This life-changing experience taught him the importance of public service and how it should be done. After a few years in Washington, Hershman felt the tug to move back home, in part to help run the family farm in Jasper County. He also returned to become the first team member for Steve Bowyer's successful congressional campaign. In 2000, Hershman decided to become a candidate himself. Today, the Buck Creek resident represents Senate District 7. During his first term, he was seated in the back next to current Senate leader David Long.
He's an outstanding legislator, has been from the day he walked into the State House. He has carried a lot of meaty bills. Obviously, he has risen to one of the most important committee chairs in the Senate with the head of the Tax and Fiscal Policy Committee, but also as the majority floor leader. So on a lot of levels, both his ability to carry a bill, his ability to explain it on the floor and articulate it, his ability to be a leader, he's a multitasker, and he's outstanding at every level.
Hershman calls himself a jack of all trades on the Senate leadership team, but with particular focus on policy and message development.
I like to sweat the details because when I go to my colleagues to ask for their support on both sides of the aisle, I want them to have confidence in knowing that somebody has done the due diligence to figure out what it takes to make this state a better place to work and do business and improve our quality of life. I try not to have my mind made up. I sit down and try and look at the arguments on both sides of any given issue and move the rhetoric to the side.
His efforts in 2015 on the repeal of the state's prevailing wage statute proved invaluable. While the bill's authors worked the overall measure, Hershman rolled up his sleeves and focused on improving the local bidding component. The end result was a level playing field for those interested in bidding on public construction projects. Indiana Chamber President Kevin Brinegar notes a series of improvements to the state's business tax climate with Senator Hershman at the center of the activity.
That legislation in recent years has included reducing our corporate income tax rate from one of the highest in the country to one of the lowest, phasing down the individual income tax, which also benefits most businesses in Indiana because they're pass-through businesses who pay their income tax on their individual forms, eliminating the inheritance tax, and then most recently in 2015, eliminating the personal property tax burden for some 150,000 small businesses.
This ability to effect real change, particularly on difficult issues, is important to Hershman. So too is continually looking at ways to aim higher for the state.
There are a number of issues that are very easily demagogued, and that's occurred over the years. And it's unfortunate when the public debate devolves down to those 10-second sound bites. What you really need to do is ask the question of what's it going to make Indiana look like in the future, as well as take a look at the other laboratories of innovation that we have in this country. It's one of the things I like about being a state legislator. We have 49 other competitors who do things right sometimes and do things wrong sometimes. And we can learn from both of those experiences.
It's far from all serious business with Hershman. Long says his colleague has a wicked, dry sense of humor. Hershman also displays an adventurous side. He has a pilot's license and likes downhill skiing. Hershman shares the Chamber's vision that our state has so much to offer and its potential is limitless. We thank this year's honoree for being willing to step forward to help develop that potential. Please congratulate State Senator Brandt Hershman, our 2015 Government Leader of the Year.